Our next presenter is Jen Doty. So I will let you take it from there, Jen.
Great, thanks, Joe. I will go ahead and get my presentation ready to present. And, oh, share screen.
I know normally there's like a minute break in between and a face-to-face, but.
All right, are you all seeing a slide deck, hopefully?
Yes.
Great.
You might want to make it full screen if it's not.
Oh, I thought I did.
I can still see the URL bar at the top. That might just be a quirk with Google.
I think that's a Google thing. Yeah, if anybody knows how to turn that off. It's probably too late to do it now. Thanks, Elle, for having me to talk this morning. I'm going to talk about a very specific experience that we had at Emory University in Atlanta, where we convened what is called an academic learning community. It's a term actually used at our university for these particular semester-long events. I did it with a colleague of mine in the library. Our motivations, I'm coming from a data librarian perspective, but she is coming from a strong instruction background. But we were seeing there's a real increased awareness that the importance of having digital and data literacy for undergraduates that wasn't necessarily addressed in a coordinated way. There's been a lot of emphasis on quantitative research happening in pockets of the university, but we were interested in doing something that was maybe a little more holistic. So inspired by our own past different instruction experiences, and especially for myself and the other data librarians at our institution, experiences working with students on research projects when they come and they have different types of needs and interests and various levels of their own experience or familiarity, that really across a lot of disciplines, there is a need for more data literacy to be addressed explicitly. So thinking about it as a critical skill set and really wanting to help our students become critical consumers of information, we decided to approach a partner, our Center for Faculty Development and Excellence. We're fortunate that there's a really good relationship with this center. It works with people all across campus, like the libraries do as well, of course. And they are actually physically located in our library now and have been for about 5 years. And that has really just helped foster what was already a pretty strong relationship into an even better one. So each year they put out a call for these academic learning communities to bring faculty and others together to discuss timely topics. And so we started thinking about this actually in the spring of 2019. And together, the two of us as two librarians wrote up our proposal and submitted it, and learned that they had received another data-related community proposal. So they asked us to all sit down together and talk, and found that there were actually not a lot of overlap in what we were considering doing, but a good complementary focus, and that it both emphasized a lot of these really emerging timely things around data. So last fall, the first learning community that was convened was actually on artificial intelligence and the ethical dimensions of data science. I participated in it so that we had some connection between ours. And then in spring 2020 is when we actually launched our community on data literacy. And as I've noted in our timeline, we did have to make some adjustments that I'll talk a bit about related to the pandemic. So for our proposal, what we did first was we actually looked at some of the prior topics that the center had convened in the past. There was one a few years ago on data science that I also participated in. Was a really good chance to meet others on campus who were brought together to talk very broadly about data science. And then there had also been one that was specifically looking at bias in algorithms, and noticed that neither, though, had probably had a component that explicitly addressed what we saw as this need to focus on data literacy, specifically for undergraduates. There was a lot of talk, especially in the data science one, about preparing graduate students, especially in the health sciences and professional programs. But the undergrad focus was really on those students who elected to do a quantitative science major. And so we're not necessarily the students we were looking to get at. So in April, we submitted our proposal. In May, we had that discussion I mentioned where we talked about our topic's relevancy with the other community proposal on AI and data science. And then in the fall, they launched theirs. The conveners were faculty members in public health, biostats, as well as a faculty member who is in our Center for Ethics and specifically looks at medical ethics. And the participants, by and large, ended up being actually faculty and researchers who have interests in the applications of AI and the implications for data science, but not necessarily a lot of instruction faculty. So the discussions were really interesting, but definitely more research focused. So it led well into us being able then in the spring in our data literacy community, talking about this complex topic of data literacy and how it pertains to undergraduates. So our objectives were to have some good discussions around that with a range of instruction faculty, with them develop some ideas for lessons that could be used in a variety of disciplinary settings, and examine some of those challenges and opportunities when we're trying to deal with a lot of different types of sources, infrastructure, and ecosystems they might be working in. So we put out our call for participants the semester prior. We had a plan to have a certain number of in-person meetings. Each of those would be framed with some readings to prompt some discussion, and then when possible, include example activities that you could do with students, but then we'd run through together and talk about how those worked in different environments. And then we really wanted to, we were fortunate that because the participation call went out so broadly, we really had a range of expertise from the instruction faculty who applied to be a part of it in various experience levels to share their own assignments or activities that they do. So we had 20 faculty members who applied and accepted. It was a mix, like I said, of folks from the sciences, the social sciences, the humanities even. We also had a few additional librarians who participated, and we had 6 meetings over lunchtime was our original plan, scheduled for January through May. So throughout the spring semester, these would happen about once a month. This is from the notes. We took really extensive notes at our first session in January, where we had read a couple of things prior, encouraged them to watch a video as well that really discussed what is data literacy and what does it mean, and then had a really good, robust discussion around that. Took as comprehensive notes as we could, and you can see the sorts of things that pop up. We have a lot of different subjects that are reflected in what people were talking about. We have both qualitative and quantitative folks who were there. We did have some good representation from the sciences, so biology pops up pretty big there. But just to give you an idea of the range of things that were coming up and the perspectives from our participants. So the first half went pretty much according to plan. We held our January through early March meetings, had those readings and discussions, example activities that we did together and then discussed, and people made suggestions about how to improve them. The second half, we still were able to a certain degree hold to our original plan. So we had planned on the first half being a real grounding in data literacy concepts, and then the second half actually focusing on the disciplines. And we had 5 participants from a range.
5 minutes.
Thank you. We had 5 participants who actually did volunteer to share their time and their expertise to talk with the rest of the group about either the work they were doing or actually, in a couple cases, share assignments that they have used in their courses that introduce students who may not necessarily have had a lot of data experience working with data for probably the first time in that discipline. As I said, to nobody's surprise, we did have to make some adjustments once the pandemic became as serious as it did and everyone was sent home to work. We surveyed our participants and the majority did want to continue. So we went from, instead of having these in-person meetings that had generally been at lunchtime with lunch covered by generous funding from the Center for Faculty Development and Excellence, we ended up moving to these virtual meetings via Zoom, and we had good, steady participation. We did understandably have a few instruction faculty who had to drop out, especially those in the lab sciences who had had a lot of challenges with trying to shift to online learning to continue the spring semester. But I do think it helped that we had already been meeting in person as a group and had a good community and rapport developed when we actually switched to virtual. I'm not sure would have worked as well if we were starting out originally as virtual. Some future actions that came from the community. We were asked by the center to do a session in their summer teaching intensive that was well attended by about 30 some faculty, where we gave them sort of a greatest hits or best of from the semester long community discussions, and provided our resources we had gathered for them to include in their resource hub for all faculty at Emory to take advantage of. And we are piloting a few data literacy workshops focused for undergrads this year. We debated whether or not to do that given the current environment, but we're going to do them virtually, see how it goes. And we've heard anecdotally that one of the most positive outcomes of doing this were connections made between folks who may not have met each other otherwise. That's one of the things that I think these sort of neutral spaces like the library or the center that serves everybody, where they can connect people who might not have found each other otherwise to talk about things that they want to do in their classes and ways that they can engage their students, especially in a more interdisciplinary way. So that's all I've got, and I'm happy to take questions.
Great, thank you. We have one question so far. Do you invite teachers from all over the campus to teach the courses, or the teachers from the center to do the teaching?
Oh, so for the purposes of the academic learning community, it was just the people who were participating in it at that time. I think looking at expanding offering workshops that would bring in guest speakers, people from outside the libraries, would be a good thing to pursue, if I was understanding the question right.
Question asker, feel free to write in if you have more questions. And anybody else is welcome to put any questions in the Q&A. I'm not seeing any. All right, now we've got another one. Are you the only data services librarian? Do others have this responsibility as part of their job?
Great question. So I think I sort of alluded to it, but no, I am not the only one. I am the only one currently in our main library organization. We do have two other data librarians who physically sit in our main library, but are actually part of our Center for Digital Scholarship. So for the workshop series that we're piloting this fall, one of them, our GIS librarian, who, if any of you attended her mapping and Tableau workshop yesterday, Megan Slemons, she is going to be doing one of the data literacy workshops this fall. So yeah, I didn't do the whole sort of intro at my presentation of our current state. I mean, Emory is lucky that we've had data services in the library in some shape or another for over 20 years. That initially really just started out as the library had the representative to ICPSR and did a whole bunch to help with quantitative data. It has grown very organically. It has gone through some growing pains at various times. That would be a whole other presentation. but I am fortunate to have a number of colleagues that I do work with across the libraries and IT on this sort of stuff.
Great, thank you. Next question, are there any overlaps in the courses provided by the center and the libraries when you planned this activity?
No. So we personally were doing this just as a partnership with the center, taking advantage of the connections that they have with faculty across a wide range of schools and departments. I think, we had other, parallel workshops happening during the year that would be considered data related, but it wasn't a coordinated type of activity. So, and the Center for Faculty Development and Excellence, I should say, I think it's probably similar to centers that many universities have at this point that often are very focused on teaching and pedagogical issues. They were really actually thrilled that they had gotten the 2 proposals to form communities around data because they see it as definitely being a need to be more explicitly addressed on campus. And I think it helps a lot. The current faculty director of the center is a scientist for the first time in its history. It's a former chair of the physics department, and he has a really great relationship with the library.
All right, next question. What buy-in were you able to get from any other units on campus, such as departments themselves, research office, academic support, etc.?
So we were able to, actually not necessarily directly related to this community, but the fact that we were having this whole further discussion with the Center for Faculty Development and Excellence. And one of the conveners of the AI and Ethics in Data Science, he was also one of the co-conveners of the Data Science Broad community that happened back in 2017. He has been charged with leading a broad data science initiative across the university. And so the fact that we've been able to maintain that good regular relationship with him has meant that the library has become more involved in things they're doing. Even in the midst of the pandemic, myself, one of our health sciences librarians, this faculty member who's leading the initiative, somebody from Research IT, we've been doing a rigor and reproducibility webinar series that's been very well attended. So this has definitely helped continue to foster the good, strong relationships with others on campus.
Thank you. Next question, are the materials, reading lists, etc., that are in the hub available to non-Emory librarians, and what was the video?
That's a great question. I would have to go back and look. They recently updated their website, and some of the some of the newer content had not been migrated over. It was mostly old. So there should be resources that are openly available. I don't think they try and put things there that would not be actually accessible to anyone. So yeah, I think if you Google Emory CFDE Resource Hub, you may be able to find. There were a couple of videos. For the very first session, we actually pointed them to some webinars that had been made available by, it was a K through 12 data literacy initiative that I believe is grant funded at the University of Michigan. They produced a wonderful collection of videos and slides to use that cover a lot of topics in data literacy. And I think many of them are absolutely appropriate for undergrads and those who are not as familiar working with data.
And I think this is going to be the last question because we only have a minute. Do you think the relationship with the faculty is very important for this kind of outreach activity?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it really helped that this was something that was coming out of, like I said, to what are seen to be neutral parties on campus, the center that supports faculty development, and the libraries. So generally, the IT folks unfortunately don't have quite as good a reputation on campus. And so the fact that this was something happening focused on data, but coming out of academic supportive units that have good relationships, it got us off on a good foot.
Great, thank you so much. That was such a great presentation. Lots to learn there.
Thanks.